verdant, vivacious, I don't know.
Do you ever think you'd be so excited about putting doors up?
No.
Because I'm excited.
Because they're actually...
Hi, folks. I'm Sean the Modern Yeoman, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Homestead for our monthly update and walk-around episode. As always, make sure you grab your favorite hot beverage and your sturdiest pair of boots, and let's go take a walk. December is the season of lists here at the Homestead, and while that may not sound terribly exhilarating at first, making lists is probably one of the most important things I do, not just for the health of my homestead, but for my mental health as well. Everything I've accomplished here at the homestead over the past year, from clearing out the barn and raising egg layers and meat chickens to tending a pretty successful garden, all of these accomplishments started out as line items on a list I put together. Unfortunately, I have a personality that when looking at the future, I tend to catastrophize. Instead of thinking about all the different ways that a project can go right, I immediately think about all the different ways that a project can go wrong. Instead of thinking about all the good things that can happen, I think about all the bad things that can happen as my default. It's pessimism, and it's been a burr in my saddle for the better part of my adult life. Thankfully, I've found kind of a weird remedy to this bummer of a disposition, and that's something as simple as making a list. Taking all my visions and my goals and the things that I want to go right, pulling them out of the air and putting them down on paper in tangible form somehow shifts the narrative in my head. Suddenly the focus is no longer how are things going to go wrong, but what will it take, what are the steps it'll take for things to go right. Once I've got these things down on paper, often broken down into even smaller, more manageable steps, the whole bewildering project of the homestead, of making a living, of life itself suddenly becomes a lot more manageable, workable. Improbable becomes probable, all because I took the time to gather my thoughts and put them down on paper. With that preamble out of the way, you might be wondering what kind of things I'm putting down on my list this month. Well, let's give you a sample. We've been hyping up the tractor now for several months, and we've got lots of plans to get this guy to work and busy for us. But I admit, it's a little bit of a black box. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know about tractor care and maintenance. I kind of know my way around regular vehicles, cars, a little bit, and I've gotten pretty good at taking care of my mower and doing the mechanics on that. But for something like a tractor, it's been tough. So, list making in action, the very first thing I did once we got the tractor was put together a list. The first thing I wanted to do was get a manual for this tractor, since we don't have the manual. A manual that would include things like the maintenance schedule, like the lubrication points, how to winterize it, things like that. So I was able to get a manual, actually. First step of the list crossed off. The second thing I did is I wanted somebody that really knows what they're doing to take a look and just give this tractor a once over, maybe just once, and then we can kind of take it from there. And so I did some looking around. I was going in with the assumption that I would need to find a way to haul this tractor to a servicing center somewhere. We don't have a trailer. Obviously, we borrowed a trailer to get this thing here. We don't have a trailer to take this thing to a service center, so I was kind of bummed. I looked at that second item on my list with a little sadness, but then I did some more research and I found out that a lot of service places have what's called field service, which the tractor mechanic will come to you. They've got a special truck with welding equipment and a crane and everything they would need to fully service the tractor, and they'll come to you. So sometime after the new year, I'm going to call up one of these service centers and get one of those field service trucks out here to have a mechanic come and look at the tractor. So those are two things that helped me deal with this black box of dealing with the tractor that I was able to put down on the list. One of them I've already taken care of, and the other one is on the list, ready for me to take care of sometime in the new year. As many of you know, we're going to be getting pigs at some point in the new year. As many of you may not know, we don't really know where to begin. Now, I've got a lot of good friends that are on the pig train. Billy from Permapastures Farm, Sang from Growing Little Country Homestead, Brian from Flannel Farms. There's a lot of guys that have kind of gone forward from me and have a lot of experience to share, so I'll definitely be talking to some of those guys. But in the meantime, as I think of my list, put the goal up there. Pigs. I want pigs. How do I take care of them? Where do I even start? I don't know where to begin, like I said. One place to start is that I know I'll want to keep them in some sort of enclosed area when they're piglets. And so looking around our barn, we've got stalls in our barn. I can start getting the piglet area ready now. I can start using scrap wood that we've collected to patch up some of the holes in the siding here and get ready to take care of some piglets in here. So already I have that big goal set up, pigs, but right underneath it, place to put piglets. I've got a place. I can start working on this. And so that's what I'm going to do. Now, these are just a few things on my list, but it's important to remember that it's easy for me to get overwhelmed when I'm faced with a bunch of things. This overwhelm seems to take a bit of a back seat when I'm able to get all of those things on paper. The two things I just showed you are just a small sample of a very long list. A list that includes things that are related to the homestead, and it also includes things that are about making money. Money's a very important one and something that I've been talking about a lot lately, just because if you like to think of this homestead as an engine with a lot of different moving parts, money is the gasoline for that engine. I'd like to have a discussion one day about true off-grid living and being completely self-sufficient, where you don't need to bring in a lot of outside inputs to your homestead, and you can kind of have a circular system where you bring in a lot of the stuff that you need. We're not there yet. Right now, we need a lot of money. So that's a big part of the things on my list with my side hustle that I'm working on, and something that I'll be talking about probably a little bit more here in the future, how to make your own money when you're based on a homestead. Before I let you guys go, I did want to show you an update on Mom and Dad's house. Dad has been doing a lot of work on the interior. Now that things are kind of cooling off, it's been a good opportunity for him to get in there and work on the walls and ceilings and stuff, and it's pretty amazing the amount of work that he's done so far. So let's go take a peek. Promise this wasn't scripted, but as I walk up, Dad's busy at work doing some stuff here, all for the interior of your house.
Yep. This will be for the kind of the framing of some windows.
Okay.
In the living room. I had to remove what was in there because kind of a long story. I'm putting up some tongue and groove, and I'll show you that here in a second. But we're putting up tongue and groove along that wall where the windows are located. And in doing that, the existing framing around the windows just wasn't going to work.
So you have to
come back to the drawing board.
Get a little creative, and so you're getting these things stained. It looks like you have a few boards staining right now. How about we go take a look inside?
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, already you can see the number one thing that stands out is the work on these beams, these accented wooden pieces on the ceiling. These weren't here before.
Nope.
In addition, you've also painted these walls, a really nice, cozy green color.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know the name of this color?
Oh my goodness. Verdant, vivacious, I don't know. They come up with these weird names, and honestly, I don't remember. It's from Bear.
Okay.
One of their one coat, and I'm trying to think of the name of it, but I've got it out in the garage.
It looks great.
Actually, I've got it right over here. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It is rejuvenation.
Rejuvenation green.
I
Not
mean, that's
too
what
far
I
away
think, yeah.
from vivacious. So walk us through real quick. You first added these beams
Right.
in quotation marks. I say beams because they're not actual beams.
Yeah, they're faux beams.
But you wrapped them in wood and you stained them to kind of give it a
Just kind of a cabin sort of feel.
antique kind of cabin feel.
Yep.
And they look really good. Before, I'll see if I can pull up some pictures and some video of what this looked like before.
Right, yeah.
These walls were white and they had the strips in them.
They did. So I removed the strips. I am really not that. I would give myself maybe a C or a C minus on doing the mud work for the drywall.
You can't tell. It looks like A+ work from where I'm
I
standing.
appreciate that, but if you get up close, you'll be able to see some things. But anyway, removed the strips, did the kind of the mud work for the drywall.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, we picked out this rejuvenation.
Rejuvenation.
Green.
Oh, it looks so good.
We're really happy with this color. We spent a lot of time going back and forth with different samples that we brought home and landed on this one, and we're very happy with it.
It looks great.
The beams they're like I said, they're faux beams. They're really there just kind of for dressing. What was there previously just really looked like a 1990 mobile home, which, I mean, if that's your thing, that's fine. No problem with that, but we wanted to give it more of a warm kind of cabin, cozy feel.
Bingo. It looks really good. So you're working on this. These beams are coming together. The walls are coming together.
Right.
You're doing some work over here.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, out in the garage, I'm working on putting some framework around the windows, because the plan is, I've got this big stack of tongue and groove down here. You can see that. And that's all going to go up on that wall, and it will just be an accent wall. I think it will look pretty good when I'm done.
I think so too.
We also put in 4 new interior doors.
Do you ever think you'd be so excited about putting doors up?
No.
Because I'm excited.
Because there actually weren't any doors there. These 2 rooms did not even have a door, and then the bathroom door was just off kilter and just cattywampus. Had to special order that one and paid a pretty price for it. It was like $130 or something to special order, maybe even a little bit more, because it's so narrow.
But it works now.
Yeah, it works like a charm.
Well done, Dad. It's really cool. I'm sure the last time all of this was on video, I'm trying to remember what things looked like, but it was nowhere close to what you've been able to accomplish so far, and you're just continuing to work slowly.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for showing us this, Dad. I know a lot of people have been asking to see some updates, and boy, have you got some updates. I think by the next time future Dad and future Sean will be showing this, it's going to be even further along, and it's really exciting to see this come together. It was in a rough shape when you guys bought the place, and now you guys can watch older videos of what it looked like. It was in tough shape, but now it's really starting to not just come together, but look really cozy, like a cool place. So
we're looking forward to it being done, but in keeping with your motto, slowly.
Yep.
We'll get there.
The only way. Awesome. Well, thanks for showing us, Dad.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I've got for today, my friends. Thanks for hanging out with me. Until we see you guys next time, remember, as always, slowly.